Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. During our last halqa, a question was asked concerning the entering of the masjid by a menstruating woman. The sister asked if menstruating women can come to the masjid to listen to the dars, to which I answered yes. And I gave the proof for its permissibility, but after the dars, someone accosted me and reminded me that it was against the view of the Jumhur. And I told him that yes, the view of the Jumhur of the ulama across the four madhahib is that it is not permitted for the menstruating woman to enter the masjid. And they cited in evidence a verse of the Quran and about 3 ahadith. The verse of the Quran cited is the ayah, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la taqrabu as-salata wa antum sukara hatta ta'lamu ma taqulun wala junuban illa abiri sabilin hatta taktasilu. The point of reference here is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibited entering the masjid for the one that is tipsy from consuming intoxicants, and also for the junub, for one that is sexually defiled, until he had taken shower. The only person permitted to enter the masjid in this state if someone that was passing through the masjid, for instance, if the masjid were a passage to and from his destination. So the ulama said if it is not permitted for the junub, for the sexually defiled, to enter the masjid, then the ha'id, the menstruating woman, fi hukm al-junub, is also of the same legal status as the junub. So for both of them, it will not be permitted to enter the masjid. And since menstruation is an impurity, then it is feared that if she enters the masjid, there may be a possibility of the masjid being stained with the blood of her menstruation. Also quoted in the hadith is the statement of the Prophet ﷺ that he said, Inni la uhillu al-masjida li-ha'idun wa la junub, that I do not permit entering the masjid for the menstruating woman or the sexually defiled. This hadith is reported by Abu Dawood, but it has been declared to be da'if by a number of the muhaddithun, qadiman wa hadithan. Shaykh al-Albani rahimahullah is one of the few contemporary scholars of hadith that declare the hadith to be da'if. Mentioned also is a hadith of Atiyah, reported in Al-Bukhari and Muslim, that she said, أمرنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أن نخرج في العيدين العواتق وذوات الخدور وأمر الحيض أن يعتزلن مصلى المسلمين. The Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم commanded us to bring out on the days of Eid the adolescents and virgin girls, and he commanded the menstruating women to stay a bit away from the prayer ground. So they are to come to the prayer ground, yashhadna al-khayra wa da'wat al-muslimin, to come and witness the celebration and also the prayer of the believers, but they are to stay a bit away from the prayer ground. The evidence here is that the musalla has the same ruling as the masjid by qiyas, by analogy. So if they were not permitted to be at the place where others are praying, but to stay a bit away, then they cannot enter the masjid. And finally, on this point is the hadith of our mother Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, that she said, the Messenger of Allah told me, Na wilini al-khumra, fetch me the prayer mat from the masjid. And I said to him, Inna ha'id, I am menstruating. And he said, Haidatuki laysat fi yadiki, your menstruation is not in your hand. The evidence here is that it is a known tradition among the Sahaba that when a woman is menstruating, she is not allowed to enter the masjid. Otherwise, our mother Aisha would not have told the Prophet ﷺ, I am menstruating. So they mentioned that it shows that she knew that the menstruating woman cannot enter the masjid. So these are the proofs cited by the Jumhur al-Ulama. However, the position that I find more convincing on this matter, wallahu ta'ala alam, is a position held by Al-Imam Ahmad rahimahullah and Al-Imam Shafi'i. In one of the riwayats attributed to Al-Imam Ahmad, he said the menstruating woman can enter and stay in the masjid if she has a need to do so. And also Al-Imam Shafi'i hold this opinion, as mentioned by Al-Muzani, who is regarded as one of the students and close companions of Al-Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah. And this is also the view expressed by Imam Muhammad Nasiruddin Al-Albani Abu Abdurrahman rahimahullah in his book titled Tamamul Minna fi Ta'liq ala Fiqh Sunnah. This view is backed by about five points. Don't let me say evidence, by 5 points. So this view is backed by 5 points. Point number 1 is al-bara'atu al-asliya, that there is no evidence. There is no evidence that indicates that the menstruating woman cannot enter the masjid, and so the absence of evidence is an evidence itself. So if there's no evidence banning them from entering the masjid, then one cannot say that they cannot enter the masjid. So this is number 1, that there is no evidence. Because the hadith, then point number 2, the hadith cited in evidence that the Prophet ﷺ said, Inni la uhillu al-masjid lihaid al-junub. I do not permit the menstruating woman or the sexual defiled to enter the masjid, is da'if. It has been declared to be weak by so many scholars of hadith. So, and a weak hadith in this regard cannot be cited in evidence in the matter of halal and haram, as this is known among the scholars and students of knowledge. It is also mentioned in evidence that the ayah وَلَا جُنُبًا إِلَّا عَبِرِ سَبِيلٍ حَتَّى تَغْتَسِلُوا draw an analogy between the menstruating woman and the sexually defiled is ba'id. It is far-fetched, because what is known is that menstruation takes days for a woman to complete. As for janaba, it is something that one can purify himself from in a matter of minutes, or at most in a matter of hours. As for menstruation, it takes a longer period, it takes days. Some women 5, some 7, some more than that. So making an analogy between these two categories of people is far-fetched. Wallahu ta'ala alam, this seems to be the more correct opinion. The number 4 point mentioned is Jawaz Dukhul Masjid al-Kafir. It is permitted for a non-Muslim to enter the masjid, and we do not ask them whether they were sexually defiled or they were menstruating. So the kafir can enter the masjid if there is maslaha. For example, if a kafir has come to attend the lecture in the masjid, maybe he has come to ask questions about Islam, or maybe for some other reasons, probably for purposes of nikah, if there is a nikah going on in the masjid by one of his friends and he decides to come and attend, he or she can attend the masjid, can enter the masjid. And so we do not say unless he or she is menstruating. So Allah Ta'ala alam, this is also mentioned and as evidence. And then finally, there is a story mentioned in Sahih al-Bukhari concerning a black woman who sleeps inside the Prophet Masjid. Imam Bukhari rahimahullah even made a tabweeb. He chapterized this hadith as Babu Nawmul Mar'ati fil Masjid, the chapter on a woman sleeping in the masjid. This hadith was reported by Mother Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. And what Ibn Hazmi mentioned in his Muhalla, that what is known is that women naturally do their monthly cycle, and there is no point, there is no evidence that she stay away from the masjid during her days of menstruation. What is clear is that she was a resident of the masjid. She had a tent in the Prophet Masjid where she stays, and there is no evidence that says unless on her days of menstruation. So these, wallahu ta'ala, are the points mentioned by those who hold the opinion that a menstruating woman can enter and stay in the masjid if she has something to do in the masjid. Al-Imam Ahmad rahimahullah ta'ala even said, it is permitted for the ha'id, yani inna lil ha'id dukhul al-masjid, it is permitted for the ha'id to enter the masjid idha tawadda'at, if she performs ablution, wa aminat talwitha al-masjid, and she is sure that she will not stain the masjid with her menstrual blood. So if our sisters want to attend the durus or the halakot in the masjid while they are menstruating, they should perform ablution and ensure that they properly wear their pad, or they do not stain the masjid with the menstrual blood. Wallahu ta'ala alam, wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.